Hey everybody, wanted to make one of these personal videos where I talk to you guys one-on-one. Specifically, I want to talk about what are the steps, the necessary steps in any business. Some of you guys are using Shopify, some of you guys are doing drop shipping, some of you guys might be white labeling, maybe you're selling your own product, maybe you own a bakery, a business, whatever the case may be. These are the 3 steps for every single business in the world. There's really no negotiation on this. And this is something that I learned with time. And looking back, I told myself, I was going to be on vacation, but now I'm actually starting to build a new company. So, I figured I'd share some information with you guys. The first step, and this is in order. You're going to want to get these things done in order. The reason why you're going to want to do that is because you're going to be flip-flopping. The process is going to take you much longer to actually become successful long-term if you don't do these in order. And it's going to be harder, right? So, the first thing you're going to want to do, and these are only 3 steps, so I'm going to keep them very simple. The first thing that you're going to want to do is you're going to want to build the logistics behind the business, right? So when I say logistics, I mean, how is the operation going to pan out, right? How are you going to get your products? How are you going to ship out your products? How, what softwares are you going to use? What websites are you going to use? What website building platforms? How are you going to build your website? How are you going to be able to contact people? How is the whole structure going to be met, right? And part of this is website design. A part of this is, making sure everything in the website works or the business works. Making sure your machinery, if you have machinery, make sure it works for the business, right? Make sure everything is set up. Make sure your taxes is in order. Make sure everything like that is ready to go for the business, right? If you're doing payroll, you're going to be using Gusto or QuickBooks or something like that to set up your business. So many different things associated with that. So you want to get the logistics in order. That's the first thing you really want to do. And this could take months, if not years. A lot of people, I've seen people in my personal life take a whole year just to get the logistics in order for certain businesses. If you guys watch Shark Tank or some, bigger programs out there, where people showcase their businesses, like the Canadian Shark Tank or something like that, there are some people who literally spend 3 years just in the logistics phase before they really have any serious clients. They're just constantly building. And for some people, the logistics phase is getting an investment, right? Getting that capital, getting that money. And I call this the logistics because these have to be logically operated, meaning you have to think critically about this and you have to think into the future. Logistics people tend to think very, very well into the future. It's something that I lack extremely. And it's something that I want to learn more of and I want to become better at. And I think, I've gotten better over time, but I still always, like any human being, I need to improve on my life, on my business. So for me, right, logistics in my new company is something that I'm focusing on first, right? How are we going to get the products out the door? How are we going to get the customers in? We essentially coming up with a whole business plan and putting it on paper, putting it on a website, right? Showing the products. Everything has to be ready by then, okay? The second thing is conversion optimization. So at the end of the day, what people tend to do is they tend to flip-flop step number 2 and step number 3, right? So step number 2 is conversion optimization, right? The reason why you want to have your website optimized prior to receiving any kind of traffic is because you're going to be wasting your money if you don't. Imagine you spend $10,000 on ads, and let's say you get, 10,000 people to your website, right? Assuming that $1 per click is the cost for advertising, right? If you're sending these people to your website and your website's not optimized, you're really just, taking 2 steps forward and 1 step backward. Yeah, you're getting some progress, but you're really shooting yourself in the foot at the end of the day because you're not getting the most out of what you deserve, out of your business fully. So after the logistics are built out, everything is in order, then you work on your conversion optimization. You think about the client. You think about their pathway into the business. What are their touch points? What is their avatar canvas, right? You guys are familiar with the avatar canvas? Just search it on Google, fill it out. These are the characteristics of your consumer, right? How they look like, their age, their demographic, their desires, their beliefs, their fears. All these different things does somewhat get involved when building a business, and it really does matter. So that's one of the concepts, okay? And that's step number 2. And step number 2 is important because if you don't get this right, then you're, like I said, you're really slowing the roll for yourself later down the road. Let's go ahead and talk about step number 3. And for step number 3 is finally getting the traffic, okay? And for step number 3, guys, even though this is in order, you might have to revert sometimes. You might have to go back. The more experience you're going to get, the more you're going to realize what you're doing wrong and what you're doing right in your business, right? So for step number 3, which is traffic, is now you want to be an artist. You want to figure out what are the best ways you can acquire traffic to your business. And I wholeheartedly believe that, there's no person who has a true identity, meaning there's not one individual who's really, really good at traffic or, who's just born that way and really good at advertising. I don't think so. I think these are all skills that we can kind of level up, almost like in a video game, right? If you think about like, what kind of video game? Let's say God of War, right? You know how like when you have like your different weapons and they're at different levels in a way? Like that kind of thing, right? So you have different skills and you can boost these skills. You have like, let's say 5 different skills that you're working on. Maybe it's conversion optimization is one skill. Maybe another skill is sales. Maybe another skill is logistics. Maybe another skill is traffic acquisition. Maybe another skill is just getting good at advertising, right? So these are different skills and you can take the time to boost them slowly and refine your skill. These skills is like a sword, right? You can take the time to sharpen your sword, make it better, so that once you strike, you cut through whatever you're trying to cut through, which is the same thing for entrepreneurs and for business people, right? And so when I say traffic, you want to take your time with this. I know that there's a lot of media out there that says, spend hundreds of dollars of traffic a day. A lot of people are not ready for that. Take your time. Study what's going on with your website. Think about different free ways of traffic because they do exist, right? You have SEO, you have YouTube, you have Instagram. Instagram is huge for free traffic. I mean, humongous. I can't even tell you guys how much I'm big for Instagram. And it's a great selling point because, people are looking, it's really an impulsive buy center. That's what I call it. Instagram is an impulsive buy center. You guys know when you're at CVS or a Rite Aid or Walmart or something and you're picking up your groceries or whatever it might be and you check out and there it is right on the countertop. They're selling, your favorite candy bar or like a little flashlight or something and, it catches your attention and it's an impulse buy, right? It's something small, get things going. And, Instagram is a great place for that. And a lot of people who are drop shipping, a lot of people in that e-commerce world, impulsive buys can work great for them. Hence why the Wolf of Shopify theme works so well. But anyways, not about the theme. This is not a conversation about the theme. This is a conversation about you and your business. Traffic is important and it helps you, build your business. It's really the lifeblood of your business. It's the oxygen to your hemoglobin, right? If that makes sense. I know that's like kind of weird medical term, but for real, that hemoglobin carries your oxygen. Without oxygen, you can't breathe, you can't live. I'm telling you, traffic, you can't live without traffic. You can't breathe without traffic, and you just got to do it. You just got to do it. And I would maybe assimilate hemoglobin to conversion rate, right? Because the higher your conversion rate or the higher your hemoglobin, the more oxygen you can carry, the more traffic you can bring in, the more sales you can get in, right? And so all of these kind of have this holistic approach where they're almost entangled with each other, if that's the right word, and they affect each other and they matter so much. And so I think that's kind of hard to understand from just a 10-minute video. And I think the message out there is not being perpetuated. Like I see videos so many times and I remember times when, when I was, let's say, first starting my business when I was 17 years old, and I would see, I wouldn't be honestly too big on YouTube, but there were ads of like different people that would come up, like Rich Dad Poor Dad and things like that, where they showed how they make hundreds of thousands of dollars. And I used to think that I could get that way too very easily by just simply maybe watching a course or something like that. And that's not the reality. The reality is, you're going to have to struggle. You're going to have to go through these 3 phases many times. Just because you think you completed phase one, in reality, phase one might not have been completed the way it should be, right? And you go on to step two, which are conversion rate optimization. You might have to head back to stage one every now and then. Maybe you're at stage three and you think you finished stage three, but really you might have to go back and attempt at stage two again. So this is not a video of disencouragement, but it's a video to encourage you, right? To impress upon you the fact that you can build a business, but here are the steps to do it. And so the 3 steps are: number 1, get your logistics in order; number 2, get your conversion rate optimized; and number 3, get your traffic. All right. And always repeat the cycle, and always try to fix yourself, and always try to improve yourself, right? Always figure out how can you improve on your business. The reality is no business is perfect. Not even Apple, not even Amazon, right? Even though they're huge companies and they're doing amazing, no business is truly perfect, all right? So hopefully this video, guys, gave you some insight, and I hope it, came and helped you and you benefited from it. And if you have any questions on your business, please leave them in the comments down below. I'm interested and I'm happy to answer them, all right? I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.